Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Welcome to our weekly Tuesday leadership Zoom. Um, I'm your hostess with the mostest, Lisa Fuller. I'm super excited to have you guys on. And if this is your first time joining us, I am super excited that you're here. And this happens every Tuesday. So make sure that you save it in your phone, set your alarm, remind yourself each week because every single week this Zoom is so good. I know it's become a lot of people's favorite Zoom of the week, and I know it's one of mine, definitely. Um, so a little bit yes and a little I can't talk today. Anybody else have one of those days? I'm doing that all day. I went to yell at my kids and I was calling them all different names. I've been calling my dogs different names today. I'm like, oops, sorry. It's one of those days, so bear with me. But I am super excited because a little bit less than a year ago, almost a year ago, I got to interview this amazing, crazy, beautiful, awesome, wonderful human being. She's under my organization, Tuyen, y'all. Like, she's like Madonna. You don't even need a last name for Tuyen. It's just Tuyen. That's how awesome she is. And you guys, I have to tell you that the first time that I met Tuyen was at, am I right, y'all? Like, she doesn't need a last name. The Tuyen. But the first time I met her was at a lifestyle getaway. And she was so quiet. And then fast forward to the next lifestyle getaway, like she had a team, and these girls are so tight. It's such a tight group of girls, but they are also crazy. Y'all, if you want to have a good time, you like everyone knows you got to hang out with the with Twins clan. You have to. Um if you're ever at a lifestyle getaway, go find them because they are the funnest group of women ever. And I'm so excited because I have them. And I'll tell you what, the craziest thing about Twin and her team is that they've never slowed down. Like I keep thinking, when is this team ever gonna take like 5 seconds? And they never do. I mean, they just continue to grow. They just continue to keep developing new 200Ks. Twin actually joined our Millionaires Club this year. Lots of exciting things going on. And if you guys haven't heard her story, it's so good because I think sometimes people, we see where people are now and we hear what they're doing now, but we don't know what they did and what that looked like getting there. And that's why I get so excited about this Zoom, because you guys get to hear that, because Twins rise to the top was not just, oh my gosh, she signed up and she was 200K. It didn't work like that. And I'm so excited for you to hear her story. Twin, I love you. I'm so excited that you said yes, you'd be on today. And we have so many new people that I want you to kind of give everybody your background and what you were doing before you joined and how you found it, and then we'll kind of just go from there.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on again. I'm super excited. So a little bit about me. I guess I'm from Canada, Vancouver, BC. I guess my story really dates back to my struggles as being a young single mom. So at the age of around 20, I had my son. And then around 22 years old, I was in such a toxic relationship that I actually ended up leaving that relationship. And that was when I kind of was on my own with my son. And let me tell you, the struggle bus never, ever seemed to stop. It was real. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be being a single mom. I was always very independent. I had a brother and a sister and I was taking care of them. So I just thought, I'm going to do this, live on my own, take care of my son. But at the time I was doing nails and it was commission based, right? So unless you are seeing clients, you weren't making money, right? So it was a really hard few years for me being a single mom because I kind of had to choose between taking care of my son or working because, daycare here in Vancouver, living expenses is terribly expensive. And then it got to a point where I was just so dead broke. Like, I'm telling you guys, like the other day I was like trying to think about my story, and it's just like all these flashback like came, and I don't really tell many people about this because I kind of forget about it. But you know, it got to a point where, you know, I was paying rent, paying bills, like my income wasn't covering it. You know, my phone bill was getting disconnected because I couldn't make the payments. I couldn't make my credit card payments, so that got disconnected as well. And also, I couldn't even make my cable payment. So at around that time, you know, my friends would come over and they would, you know, there would be no TV for them to watch. And I would lie and be like, oh, my TV's broken. But, you know, they didn't know that I couldn't make cable bill payments. Like, that was how broke I got. And it got to a point where I really couldn't, you know, take care of my son anymore and work at the same time because, you know, again, daycare was too expensive. So I actually sent him to my dad. He was all the way across the country in Montreal. And I guess that was my rock bottom. I remember flying down, like dropping him off, then coming back to Vancouver and touchdown at the airport, and I just freaking cried. Like, I was just like, what did I do? Like, how did my life turn out like this? And so I put myself back into school because I knew I couldn't do nails anymore because, again, it was just like a seasonal business where, you know, in summertime it would be really like busy, and then come September, wintertime, it would kind of slow down a bit, right? So I thought that if I got into auto insurance, it would be like my career, right? Because I see so many people, you know, making good income from it. But went into schooling, and then, you know, I think I only had like a few $1,000s in my bank saving for that. So no, actually I had to ask my dad for money to go into schooling. So that job paid me like less than $2,000 a month. Again, it was a struggle, right? So after doing that for like a couple years, I brought my son back, but after doing that for a couple years, I knew I couldn't just do that. So I actually ended up getting a second job, which was permanent makeup tattooing, microblading, all that stuff that, you know, paid me really well up front. But again, it was taking time away from, you know, being a mom. Like, if you don't see people, you're not going to make money. Whenever you want to go on vacation, which I didn't go on vacation, you know, you weren't making money. So I had an office job and I had kind of like my own business. And yeah, it was a struggle because I was trading time for money again, right? And, you know, just the emotional kind of effect that it had on me when people were like complaining about their eyebrows. Like, I didn't like any of that either, right? So I met my brow client, Tanya. She was actually the one that introduced me to the Thrive experience. She came in, she emailed me, she came in, and then she was this like soccer mom. She was just like, she looked so good. She was very intimidating. I was just like, okay. She wasn't thriving at the time when I first met her. So I did her eyebrows. I didn't hear from her for 4 months. Usually some people, they don't need a touch up, and some people they do. And touch ups is within like 6 weeks. So because I didn't hear from her for a while, I was like, okay, maybe she's good. Come June, she ended up messaging me on Instagram this time. And I was like, oh my goodness, where have you been, kind of thing, right? And that was when I kind of creeped onto her page after she started thriving then. And then I saw all these amazing before and after pictures. So at that time, I was 7 months postpartum with Audrey. The one thing I knew after having Audrey was like, I wanted to be there for her, like for my kids, because with Jaden, I was like barely ever around. I wasn't really present. I was always working, or I was always working. So he barely saw me, right? So I knew that was what I wanted. And I was at that time trying to lose my last like 10 pounds of baby weight. So the before and after picture that she had on her profile really kind of like, I was like, okay, like I want that, right? Like, that's really intriguing because I was on all types of diets. You know, I was barely eating. I was limiting myself to calories. So always trying different diets and stuff, right? And then she was just like, okay, yeah, when I come in for my touch up, I'll explain more about it. And I'm going to give you guys some tips with my story as well, things that you guys can do to help with your business. So when she came in, I was like, Tanya, give me that weight loss stuff that you've been posting about. So I knew her already. So I kind of, I trusted her already because I had met her prior, right? And she just went all in. She was like kind of different this time around. She was like happier. She was more talkative. She was more like energetic. She was less intimidating, a lot more talkative, right? So I was like, Tanya, like, I want that sticker thing with the weight loss. And she's like, yeah, but you know, it gives you so much energy, mental clarity. Like, I feel amazing on it. And you guys, at that time, I was drinking like 6 cups of coffee a day. I was still napping all day long. Like, I did not get up in the morning to, get my son ready for school, because I would sleep in until the very, very last minute where I had to get up and drive him to school, which was 5 minutes before school. The poor kid had to, get himself ready, get himself dressed. And then, 5 minutes before school, he'll knock on my door and he'll be like, Mom, it's time for school. So that was how I was like at home, like not a very good mom. So I thought coffee was life. I thought, coffee was what gives you energy. I didn't know vitamins were going to give you energy. When she was talking about it, I didn't believe her. All I cared about, it like went from one ear to the other. Like, all I cared about was the weight loss aspect of Thrive, right? And then she's like, okay, like just get this package then. But Tuyen, there's an amazing opportunity here. Like, this company's compensation plan is seriously amazing. And you guys, she planted that seed early on. So there's a tip for you guys, right? Even though I was working 2 jobs, she told me that. I literally in my head thought, oh my God, she's trying to sell me on this pyramid thing. Like, no thanks. Like, just give me the products. So I already said no in my head, but she openly planted that seed. So she's like, okay, like, I'll send you the link when I get home and I'll give you like $30 off. I was like, okay. She did not send me the link. I was waiting all day for her to send it to me. And at 8:30, I remember so clearly, I'm like, okay, she's not going to message me. I'm just going to message her. And I waited till 8:30 on the dot. So in a way, I kind of chased after Thrive. And then I added everything to cart. She walked me through the order. At that time, it was US. It wasn't Canadian dollars yet. It was still US. And then you had to convert it after, and then you had to pay a fee for your visa. And then it didn't even come with the second box of shakes, you guys. So I added everything to cart. It came up to like $200 US, and I let it sit there for 30 minutes. I was like, I don't even know what this thing is. Am I really gonna like spend, like at that time, remember you guys, I didn't have money. I was living paycheck to, not even paycheck to paycheck. I was living like credit card to credit card, like, statements. So I was just like walking up and down my room. I was just like, am I really gonna do this? Like, I don't even know if this is gonna work or not. Like, this is a lot of money. I already had debt. But after 30 minutes, I'm like, F it, like, let's just do it. We'll see, right? So the package actually came on my birthday. I started the next day. It was a present from the universe. I say that all the time. I did not reach out to her. I did it completely wrong. I just kind of read the back of the box and kind of just did it. But these products were so good. They were working even without doing it properly. So I noticed within that first week, I couldn't finish my coffee anymore. I didn't know that was one of the benefits, that you wouldn't need coffee anymore. I was waking up before my son, getting him ready for school. I was just like happier in the morning. I was just like, what is this? And that was when I got really, really curious about it. And I remember her voice just in my head, like, there's an opportunity here, like you can make extra money sharing it, this and that. So there's a tip for you guys, like always plant that seed early on, because you never know what people are going to be thinking about, what they're going to be curious about, but it doesn't hurt, right? So because she said that to me, for those like 10 days before messaging her, I was going onto the website and reading up on it. I was on the Facebook fan page, like reading up on what is this stuff. And mind you guys, at this point, I still didn't know that these were vitamins. I didn't know that they were good for me. I still thought they were weight loss products. And I saw amazing testimonials saying that, they were kind of all experiencing the same thing as me. No more coffee, more energy, more patience with the kids, happier, losing weight. And then after 10 days, I sent her my before and after picture because I had a slight change. And she was like shocked. And I was shocked. I was like, I didn't do anything different. All I did was like use these products. And then she's like, Tuyen, like, if remember what I told you, like you can get it for free here, kind of like explaining the opportunity again, right? And then afterwards, you know, my friend kept seeing the sticker on me, and I kept, you know, trying to say like, wait up, like, let me try it for a little bit. And then after I realized that I love these products and it actually freaking works, I was like so excited about it. I told everyone about it, messaged her, I was like, Tanya, like all of my friends want this, like, what do I do? And that was when I clicked the promoter button, and yeah, the rest was history. That was in 2017 in August. So my 4-year anniversary is almost coming up. So, oh, and with my job. So I clicked the promoter button, hit my, do you want me to get into like the?
Yeah, talk a little bit about what that looked like, because I know for you, you did go fast, but then you kind of lost it
Yeah.
because you were like, okay, I'm not doing this right.
Yeah. So talk about ignorance on fire. That was me, you guys. And, you know, I had absolutely no knowledge. Okay. So I didn't have any network marketing experience. All I knew was like, I love these products and I love talking about it. Right. So at that point, my friends were still like, like, what is this and stuff. So when I clicked that promoter button, I kind of messaged all the people that was like, well, what is that? Right. And then at that point, I was still kind of unsure. So sorry, let me just put my phone on silent. I was still kind of unsure because, again, remember I had 2 jobs and I was thinking, you know, am I going to be able to take on this third thing? Like, this is a third job, right? So that was my mindset at the time. And Tanya was just like, you know what, if you're already like talking to your friends about it, just know that, you know, it's a free opportunity. Like, it's not going to cost you anything to share. And I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. Cool. Hit my first bonus, the VIP bonus, within that first week. And you guys, like, that check changed everything for me. Like, we call it the belief check here with our team, because, you know, that was what made me realize that, like, this is legit, like, this is a real thing, and this is way more fun than what I was doing. So hit my first bonus in the hit my second bonus in the second week. So that's a VIP 16 bonus, 1600 bonus. And after that, I was so excited. I was like, it was like life-changing for me, because it was like something I can do on my phone that didn't require me to go into the office to see anyone. I was talking about products that I was like using and loving. And I kind of got turned off with my, you know, I was already turned off with my other 2 jobs. And so I just kept going. Within that 20 days, I hit my auto bonus. And at this point, I still didn't know what really it was. I mean, she explained it to me, but I still didn't really believe it. And then I was just like, I didn't think I was going to maintain it, but she's like, don't worry, you'll maintain it. I was like, okay, sure. September, I actually went 40K because September, they released a leaderboard for, I think, like $9,000 USD at the end of the month. And when I saw that email, I was just like, what is this company? Like, why are they giving so much money away, right? And I didn't think that I would be someone that, like, I thought it was going to be hard. I didn't even know what PPA was at the time. But I was enrolling so many people because I was talking to so many people, and I was posting about it constantly, just sharing that I was using it, right? And I had a network before Thrive because I was in the brow business, so I kept posting it on my brow site. And then, so I actually earned that leaderboard in September, and we went 40K, top prize of, I think, $9,000 US, which was like 12,000 Canadian. And I was just like, oh my God, this is what's going on again, right? So ignorance on fire, didn't know what was going on, just knew I was like earning all this stuff. And then October comes along, September, that was when Jamie Peckham messaged me about the guest spot for the Lifestyle Getaway. Sorry. The Lifestyle Getaway. And then that was when I met you, Lisa, met Chastity. And when I went on this trip in October, I think they released another leaderboard for a top prize of 35,000 USD. So I was like working that whole time trying to earn that leaderboard. And I went into that trip thinking I was so successful. Like, I knew what I was doing, like this business, I'm so good at this business, blah, blah, blah. Because I hit like 40K within a month kind of thing, right? But that trip humbled me so much, because even though I went in there thinking I'm like this big shot, right? Because I didn't know about ranks, I didn't know anything about the business really. But everyone that I met there, they were all so, like, you were so successful, and then Chastity was so successful, like everyone, like Jamie Pekka, like everyone was just so accommodating, so nice. But the thing was, you guys were also humble, you guys were also like so nice to me. And I was just like, I knew that, you know, you guys were like up there. And then I was thinking, why are they so nice to me? Like, aren't they like really, really like high up there? Why would they talk to me? And that was when I kind of saw the culture of this company. That was when I kind of understood more of this, of the community and the culture. And I left and went back after that trip, and I was like, I'm gonna be like that. Like, I want to be like that. I want to be like them. I want to be successful, and I want to be nice. I want to like welcome everyone. I want to be exactly like them. So that was how it kind of started for me. So again, that trip changed my mindset in a lot of ways. Came home, hit that leaderboard bonus of $35,000, and you can kind of see like after that, I was just like, we had a couple girls on our team running as well, but there was really no duplication, and we didn't really have a system. We were kind of just coming in, getting everyone on Thrive. Again, very ignorance on fire. And I think that October we actually hit 80K. Our team hit 80K. And again, we didn't really have a team. It was just a few of us. And that October, I remember having like a PPA of like 80 something. Like, that was a lot. And come November, you know, things slowed down. I fell back to 40K, and then come December, I fell right down to 12K. But at this point, like, none of that really just made me discouraged. None of that really made me feel like bad or anything, because I was so grateful already for everything that was happening, how much my life has changed in just a short amount of time. Like, I went with Thrive full time, like 2 months after I started thriving. Like, I didn't even continue with auto insurance. I didn't even continue with my brow business anymore. Like, I was in Thrive full time. So I had just so much time freedom. So that was what I was really grateful for, even though I fell a lot. My checks like fell like down by a lot. But you know, I was really grateful. And then come January, I was still at 12K. And then they released this huge bonus, this 400K rank repeat bonus back in February of 2018. And I saw that email, and I was just like, and I qualified because I hit that 80K in October. And if you guys don't know what the rank repeat is, it's basically building brand new, like $200,000 in volume in a certain amount of time with brand new people. So everyone that signed up before January, they did not count towards this bonus. And I saw that email, and I was like, how the hell am I going to do this? I literally just fell down to a 12K again. I lost like so much volume. How am I going to do this? And I think it was like, if you can do it, complete it in by March, you get the full 400, but it gets paid out in increments. If you do it by April, you get like maybe half of that. And then May would be just like a portion of it. So I sat there, I remember sitting there up in my bed. I was just like, what the heck? Like, how the hell am I going to do this? And then that was when I kind of shifted my mindset, and I was like, okay, you know what do I need to do this? And that was when I think I became more of a leader, because I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to help a lot of people, you know, hit their bonuses, help a lot of people rank, advance, and we'll go from there. So I took it off myself. And then I just went and full on just helping a lot of people. And then I actually ended up within that, 3 months of the promotional period. I actually was one of the few that actually hit it, because I was helping so many people VIP, so many people 4K, then 12K, 40K, and that was all brand new volume. So I kind of found the secret to the business afterwards, and we actually hit 200K that May in 2018. I think we kept 200K for a few months, and then we fell backwards again. And then afterwards, during those times of transition and falling back, that was when I really became more in like, I dove more into like leadership. I dove more into kind of, you know, team Zooms, more into training, more into kind of like providing resources for the team, right? Because back then, before then, I didn't do any of that stuff, right? Because I didn't know. So, so I think we lost 200K for like a good 6 months, I think. And then things just kept growing afterwards. And then, yeah, so after that, you know, we never lost it since. Our team now does, you know, over $1 million plus every single month. And it just keeps continuing to grow. So yeah, so that's a little bit about how my ups and downs.
You know, it's so crazy because, like, I mean, anybody can sign people, right? I mean, anybody can jump into this business, sign people, and like you said, you went 40K, then you went 80K, and then you fell back to 12K because you weren't teaching other people what to do pretty
Yeah.
much at that point. It was like, that's why it's so important, like, to plug in, because you've got to like figure that side of it out. And I know, like, once you figured that out, there was like no stopping you. And here's the thing too, one of the things that really sticks out with me with you is I have never once, not one time, I could pretty much bet on this, you are the only leader on my team that has never complained. Maybe you've complained to someone else, I don't know, but I've never seen you complain ever. You have never been in my inbox saying, "Oh my God, I lost rank," or "Oh my God, the money's falling apart." Or, I mean, like, even when all of that was happening, there was never a time where you thought, "I'm going to quit." Like, you just, it was just never part of your DNA. Like, you just have never done that. And I think it speaks to your success. And I think the other thing that sticks out to me, and success leaves clues. That's why I want people to really pay attention to this, because you probably have the tightest knit team. Well, that's not true. I mean, there's a lot of good leaders under here that have tight knit teams, but you guys, I think that the key to your success is your team is just a family. You've
Yeah.
made everyone feel like that, even when they come in and they're brand new. So talk a little bit about, I mean, I know some struggles that you've faced, obviously, you know, learning that learning curve, but are there any other struggles that you feel like you want to share with people that have happened since you've been in?
Oh yeah, like there's so many things about my story at the beginning. Now that I look back, I know the reason why. Like, it just kept falling, and you know, and things kept losing, right? Like, when I was coming in, I was setting people up all the wrong ways. Not even just like what I was saying to them, or not even just like no duplication, but like what I was saying to them, right? So I thought what I was doing was easy, like just talk to everyone, get everyone on Thrive, like sound excited, blah, 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 it works, like why not, kind of thing. So when I was getting people in and flipping them, you know, I was telling them, like, just do what I do. And if you make money, you make money. If you don't, then it's fine. So a lot of people were coming in with that mindset, like, this is easy. Like, this is, you know, if Tuyen can do it, I can do it. And when they weren't doing it, because, you know, not a lot of people can, you know, have a PPA of like 80 a month, right? So when they weren't doing it, they would get really discouraged and they would quit. And I was like, okay, next, move on, kind of thing, you know. I was signing customers up as promoters just so they can order the bigger kit. You know, these are the things that I didn't know that we weren't supposed to do. So then my back office looks really messy. I didn't take the time to really, you know, as much as I grew in volume, like, I lacked so much knowledge, and that really put me back in the place that I was supposed to be, right? We say this all the time, Lisa, like, you are meant to be where you are meant to be, you know. The amount of work that you put in, the amount of effort you put in to learn this business, you guys are supposed to be where you're supposed to be, you know. But the amazing thing is, you guys can learn more, grow more, and do more, right? So you know, I was signing all these people. I didn't know that I had to follow up with them. I didn't know that that was one of the things that we do here. I was very uncoachable. I know sweet Tanya would like message me and like tell me to do these little things. I was like, no, Tanya, like, she'll tell me like, hey, you know, Facebook has a lot of resources and has a lot of information. Like, you know, do you want to try utilizing it more? And I was just like, Tanya, like, no one uses Facebook anymore. Like, that's old school kind of thing, right? So imagine if, you know, one of my downline came to me and said that to me now. I I honestly wish she would just like slap me back then, you know. But that was kind of how uncoachable I was. You know, the teams that we did have back then, Tanya would be like, oh, do you want me to like help them make a banner, you know, kind of celebrate them? I didn't know we were supposed to celebrate people here. I was like, no, Tanya, like, it's fine. They don't want any of that stuff, right? So just very stuck up, poor, kind of my own way mindset, right? And you know, that affected my business. Like, that's why there was no duplication, and that's why there was no really solid team. And yeah, so you know, I wasn't reaching out. I was kind of signing people and kind of letting them do their own thing, because I thought I would just send them the steps, and if they did it right and if they loved it, they'll message me. And I've had so many people fall off just because of my lack of communication. So many people were signing on and they were quitting because, again, I was giving them the impression that this is not really work, you know? So when they didn't want to work, they didn't work. They weren't as serious, right? And then remember when I kind of had to face the facts and be like, hey, what I'm doing isn't working. I'm not going to be able to earn this rank or earn this bonus or get my rank back or anything if I keep continuing to do the same thing. So my struggle was a lot of like self-reflection and a lot of like, okay, let's actually take the time to learn this business, because unless you do, you're not going to know what to do, right? And you know what, as much as I went through and as much of a struggle it was, I am kind of glad that it happened, because I can kind of reshare my story, and you know, the mistakes that I've made, I can kind of see when a new person is coming in, and I can kind of help them not go that direction, or help them share from my experience so they can learn from my mistakes, right? So yeah, so that, I think that was my biggest struggle, reflecting and understanding that, you know, that what I was doing wasn't right. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, because you know, you come in here and you don't want to be told what to do, right? But you want to make it work, but you're like, it's not working, so people get discouraged and they fall off. But so yeah, so not being
You
coachable.
know, well, it's so funny because you're right. Like, I couldn't get you on a Zoom. There was never any welcome banner. I remember like going, and I remember talking to like Jamie and Tanya and like just going, what is going on? Like, why, dude, she could be like doing so much more. But sometimes people have to grow and figure it out themselves. That's what I always tell people. You know what? Sometimes you have to fall back and then go, okay, this is what's happening. And I love when you said you had to be coachable, because you know, that's a lot of people's issue. If you're not growing in the right direction, it's because you're not coachable. Like, if you're shooting down everything your upline is suggesting to you, or, you know, telling you you should be doing this, then it might be one of the reasons you might want to look in the mirror. So once you got everything, okay, once you said, okay, I'm going to start listening to these people, I'm going to start doing this stuff, I'm going to duplicate, then I mean, everything changed. I mean, where would you say, like, once you guys got 200K back and you haven't lost it since,
Yeah.
what, like, I don't know. I get the question all the time, what is she doing? What's the magic? And I always say you can't teach just being a good human, but
Yeah.
you can't. Like, it really has a lot to do with the fact that you truly care about the people underneath of you. Like,
Mhm.
that is your goal. So talk a little bit about, like, what do you do with new people? And I mean, you guys probably underneath of me have the highest amount of people that come in VIP 800 and 1600.
So I owe this to Chastity Marie, because I think, again, you guys were probably talking about me because, you know, my name was on the leaderboard, this and that, but I wasn't like this one Asian girl, right? But I owe this to Chastity about the VIP bonuses, because at that time, remember, I was bringing people in. I told them about the bonus and I told them to go and get it because it's going to pay them this much. So they were referring everyone and plugging everyone in correctly, but they thought that they were just going to get this bonus and bounce, right? So that was the kind of, that was how I was bringing people in. And that's what happened. And, you know, Chastity, after the Puerto Vallarta, she pulled me, she saw me in the airport and she pulled me aside. And she's like, you know, she kind of hinted, she's like, Tuyen, like, you don't need to work so hard. Like, you don't need to be, you know, the one that's like, you know, grinding like this in a way, right? I don't know if she said it like that, but she basically said, you just need a few people, help them VIP, help those people VIP and their people VIP, and just get that going and just get that duplicating, and your team will grow and people will stick. And at that time, I was still in that mindset, like, I know what I'm doing, like, you know, I'm fine, like I'm making good money, I'm earning these huge like leaderboard, but those leaderboard, cool, a lot of money, but it was like, once I earned it, it was like I didn't really have anyone to celebrate with, right? It was kind of weird to like, oh my god, I earned all this money. It's like, to like my the people that I was with, or the teams that I had at the time, because they weren't earning it, like they weren't making that kind of check, right? So it wasn't as fun and fulfilling, or whatever you want to call it. So come around, you know, February, that was when I was kind of changed everything. And then it really brought me back to what Chastity said. She's like, just focus on that. And so now that we bring and so like I kind of realized that that is the system, or that is the duplicatable system of Lavelle. Why they have it in place is because everyone can come in and achieve it. And, you know, those bonuses change people's lives. Like, remember, you guys, like at one point I, you know, couldn't even pay for my phone bill or my cable bill. Like an extra $600 that week would have changed everything for me. You know, I might not, if I had this opportunity back when I was a single mom, I probably wouldn't have to like send my son away, right? So that's why this business, I'm always grateful for it. And I always know that there are people that need it. And anyway, so we come in, like now everyone comes in and we set them up properly. By properly, meaning like the right expectation, kind of like almost an interview and screening style, kind of giving them the lowdown of what's expected. You know, like the more they put into this business, the more they're going to get out of it, kind of thing. We give them the 5 to 7 year like reality, you know, the plan that you always talk about, and a lot of things I learned from you too, right? Because, you know, you guys can't expect to come in here and make, you know, whatever overnight and, you know, have it stick and stay without knowing anything about the business, like what happened to me. So we really try to set them up. We do welcome calls now with everyone, because we do need that face-to-face kind of interaction and stuff, right? And the people that can't even get on a call with me within 24 hours of saying that they want to do this, that's kind of a good indication of like, maybe they're not ready for this business, right? And did you guys know that we actually make more money on customer orders than if promoters order the same products? We'd make like 4 times more. So there's really no point in flipping customers to promoters unless they're ready to run for and work their business, right? So I learned that as well. So we kind of like screen them on the welcome call, get them excited, let them know, you know, they do need to hop on calls and training. You know, I didn't tell anyone that back then. So it was like pulling teeth to get them on any training. And if you're not getting the right training and the right tools to run your business, you're not going to know how to run your business, right? And so then we dive into the VIP bonus, because I really want to get them their belief check, just in case, you know, a lot of people come in, they might not believe that this business is that great, but give them an extra $650 within the first week, or, you know, $1,320 in the first 2 weeks, you know, they're going to be mind blown, right? And some people, again, it really, it changes everything for them, like it did for me. So we really walk them through that the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks in Canada. And our team, we just stay close together. You know, we have our schedule for calls, for team meetings are so, what is it? It's just a routine now, you know, like this call, the 9 a.m. call, like we know, you know, we're going to have it's just routine. It's just getting your team plugged in, getting them on a schedule, on a routine. You know, it's not all about work all the time. It's fun too. Like, this business is fun. It's not hard work compared to everything else that people do right now. They're 9 to 5. Like, you know, I was doing a lot of things that was hard work. So getting them to kind of see the vision, really, I think that's what we need to do as leaders, because they don't know what to expect yet, right? And you can't expect them to know that this business is fun, it's exciting, you can, you know, change your life here. They don't know that unless you really keep them plugged into the community. So yeah, so that's what we do.
You know what? I just got to point out a couple things. First of all, you were you've always signed people. Like literally you always have a PPA. I don't think you've never not had one. It's always high. And here's the thing is I think a lot of people on here think if I could just sign people. I had people under me, you included back then, with PPAs of 80, PPAs of 60, and they aren't 200K. Here's the thing, you guys have it's not about being a mass enroller. You have got to help your team win. You've got to like once that clicks, because you can PPA all day long, but you're never going to get to 200K. You cannot do it alone. Because if you're enrolling like that, obviously you can maintain volume, but you can't if you're not teaching that duplication, it won't happen. So for those of you on that are like, but I sign people, like, look at that piece of the puzzle. Are you doing what you need to be doing as a leader? Because I would rather have somebody with a lower PPA and their whole team is growing. You know what I mean? So that matters.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing too is you guys really truly do have, like, I can't explain it enough, but the community. And when I say success leaves clues, like, you guys listen to everything twins just said, learn from mistakes, but also learn from what people do. Because let me tell you what, I twin is on everything. Twin is a million. Twin made the millionaires club. Twin has amazing checks every week. Twin's team is growing. Twin does not have to show up on Tuesday Zooms. She doesn't have to show up on Sunday night on Stacy. She doesn't have to show up on Thursdays. And do you know, she's one of probably 5 or 6 200Ks, and I have like 30 under me that show up on everything. And they just happen to be, okay, listen, success leaves clues. They just happen to be the team's growing. Like, twins never doesn't sit around and go, I don't need to be on that Zoom because I know everything Lisa's about to say, or I don't need to be on that Zoom because I know everything Chas is about to say. Like, sometimes I think she has like doubles. I'm like, does she have a twin? Because she's being like 2 Zooms at once. I'm like, how is she doing that? But that, if that does not tell you, so if you are 200K or an 80K and you feel stuck, my question to you is, when's the last time that you made sure, and twin, you also said it, you plug your people in. When I have a Thursday Zoom or a Tuesday Zoom, if I counted the amount of people on this Zoom, like right now there's 263, 100 of those people are yours. Like, success leaves clues. Like, the teams growing are the ones that their leaders don't feel too good to still show up. You know, that they don't think they know it all. They think they still have something to learn, but they're also making sure that their teams are plugged in too, because it's their responsibility, like, huge. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, tip wise, like, anything. You are like a social media, you're so good. Like, if you guys want to know how to do social media, like, twins Instagram is on fire, your Facebook stories, I know you say that's where it's at. How are you, number one, growing your network, but number two, what kind of tips do you have for people for Instagram or Facebook?
Yeah. Okay. So growing my network wise, like I say this to my team, like there's 4 ways here that you guys can utilize to grow your network and to, like, get people on Thrive, right? So one of them is social media. And you guys, social media is a free platform. If you don't utilize it to the most and to the best of your capability, I don't understand why. It is literally free marketing, right? You guys can market yourself as often or as much as annoying, as spammy as you guys want. Like, that's all free for you guys, right? How many companies have to pay millions and millions of dollars just to advertise their products? So social media is one way that you guys can use to grow your network, grow your customer, get people to know about Thrive. Another way is events and locals, and being out at events and locals, right? So that's why our team, we as soon as everything kind of opened up, you can see which country or which city opened up first, because that was when they started doing locals, like, right away. So our locals are huge now, right? And it's another way to get people to know about Thrive, to raise their awareness, because we talk about third-party validation all the time. When you hear someone else's story, it kind of hits you a different way. You can relate to it maybe a different way. Or when you hear from someone else, they you believe them more for some reason, right? So events, locals, you know, imagine if 6 people are standing up there telling you how much Thrive has changed their life, and then you have 20 people sitting around you that's thriving, saying that it's changed their life. If you're the only one non-thriver there, after you leave that event or that local, you're probably going to start thriving, right? That's like 30 people validation. So events and locals, belly to belly is a great way to get people on Thrive. If you're out and about, Uber drivers, waiters, like anyone that I come into contact with that is working while I'm communicating with them, I can offer them another opportunity, right? A better one, because I just think that that what we have is seriously gold. And when I offer them an opportunity, I feel like I'm giving them something, not that they're going to be getting something, like buying something from me, right? So belly to belly. And then the fourth way is referrals. You know, getting people that are already thriving, open their network to you through those referrals. So sometimes it's like not even who you know, it's who they know, right? You know, there's 4 ways. You guys got to use one of the ways, you know, at least, right? I don't limit myself to just one, because I know a lot of people's like, oh, I'm not a big social media person. Like I'm more belly to belly, but I'm like, why? Like, why not? It's free. Why not utilize that? Or like, oh, I'm more on social media. I'm not belly to belly. And I'm just like, why? Like, why not? Kind of thing, right? Like anytime people want to tell me they don't want to do something, in my head, I'm just like, but why? You know, this can grow your business, you know? So I don't limit myself to any just one. I try to utilize everything, and social media is just easy, right at your hands. It's just there, just kind of like a sharing my day kind of thing, right? Because people are nosy, people want to know what you're doing, and if you guys can share just exactly what you're doing throughout the day, and you know, sprinkle Thrive on top of it, people are gonna you know, people are gonna get used to that, right? Now if they wake up in the morning, they don't see me, they think that I'm missing or had been like kidnapped or something, right? Or I'm just very hungover. So yeah, so I do use all those ways to grow my network, because again, I don't want to limit myself, limit my business. And yeah, so yeah, social media, I mean, why not use it? It's a free freaking platform.
Yeah, you know what? It never makes sense to me either. Like when people say, but I'm doing everything to grow my business. And I'm like, okay, well, when you were out yesterday, did you tell your waitress? Well, you didn't do everything. Like these are people, like every opportunity, you've got to be willing to like step outside of your comfort zone in order to grow. And I don't think it's any coincidence, Twin, that every city that's always on the list of top cities, it's always your teams popping up. It's like Twin has a new team in Maricopa County, and Maricopa County was number one. It's like you and you teach, like, give me, I want to kind of know what you're teaching people as far as, are you getting samples out, or are you more like, no, let's get them signed,
Yeah,
um and like follow up type of thing?
yeah,
Like what does that look like? Because I know, like, I was kind of a sample. That's how I kind of was brought in, and that's how we started, was let's just get this in people's hands. But
yeah,
now I've kind of transitioned into, okay, you can get a sample, but
yeah,
don't forget, we can get you this now, like in your hands for 30 days with no, like,
yeah.
whatever. So what kind of tips do you have for that? Because I know you guys are huge on,
So we do have a lot of girls on our team that are very big on sample. Like Angela, she is like one of like the sample queen. She posts about it, and 20 people will message her for it. But again, it's just what you put out there, you'll get back, right? So myself, when I started, I have to go back to when I started. There was a lot of people asking for samples. So yeah, so samples were a big thing for new people. So new people, samples are great, because you're opening this new thing, or you're introducing this new product to your network. They're going to want a sample, right? So yes, I recommend, if you guys are brand new into this business, offer those samples, you know, give it as a discount. But now, anyone that does ask for samples, I always give them the better option, which is the better option, right? I'm like, I'm like, you can grab a sample from me. It's going to cost $30 for X amount of days. But I honestly recommend that you just go in with a full month, and I can give you that, credit off instead of you spending that much money on like a 3 days or something, right? So I give them that option, and I tell them like, that sample, you're not going to feel anything. You're not going to notice a difference. It's just going to show you how easy it is to use. But I definitely recommend you just go in with a full month, or just start with a full month. So after hearing that, 50% will be like, okay, well, how much is it? I'm like, it's not that expensive. It's like this much. And then with a discount, it'll be like this. It's like so cheap. So I add those words in just so they know that I think it is affordable, because if you're not scared to talk about it, if you're confident, they trust you more, right? And then at the end, they might be like 50% might be like, no, like, let me just try the sample. I was like, okay, good. If you do love the sample, remember, if you do feel anything, you're lucky. If you don't, then, that's just, it's just to show you how easy it is to use. And then I would offer them that, if they spent $25 on the sample, I'd be like, when you're ready to start your first month, I'll send you that $25 back in credit so you can use it towards your first month. And they're like, okay, yeah. So with the sample, the 3 days, to me, I find it's a hit and miss sometimes, because I feel like unless they're day 1, day 2, day 3 thrivers, they might not they're really skeptical still. But I feel like 4 to 5 days, when I was making my own samples, I feel like it was like a 90% hit. A lot of them by the 5th day, they like got into the routine, they feel something, they kind of like get it. And yeah, so with samples, it's there, they know it's there. But I do believe that if you are brand new, it is good to offer people that, don't know about Thrive Yet samples. But once you guys have, a following, or, don't forget that, you have to share about it sometimes, right? The other day I did a sample blitz. It was, how the Thrive sample has a link now, or thrivesample.com, that new thing that they introduced. So I was going around like, hey, do you want a sample? This and that. I think when I was away, I think I gave like 8 people that link, and then they kind of just, put in their information. I sent it to them. Such an amazing tool. I did a sample blitz. So I posted on my story. I was like, for the next 12 hours, I'm gonna have this link up on my store, or on my profile. All you have to do is click on it and request a sample, and I'll ship it right out to you. And I did have a few people like do it. So I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It works. So it's like the urgency and the time, all of that, right? So so yeah, with me samples, I offer them, but I always, like you, I always give them the better option and just tell them to go straight for the full month first.
I think one of the other things that your team does super well, and I think it grows your team hugely, besides the fact that you guys do a lot of like living room locals. Like, I know you just went and traveled and just did like local, but you also do Facebook Lives
Yeah.
where you guys interview people. For everybody on here, talk about what you do with that and how you think it grows the business.
Yeah, so Zooms, Facebook, like we call it opportunity calls, because
Oh, there's Zooms, aren't they? Not
there's
lives,
Zooms,
but
but
Zooms.
there's Zooms, but I think the girls do put them on Facebook events.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So we do that, and we become so consistent with that. And I think that's how a lot of people kind of fall backwards too, right? Because if you're gonna commit to something, you guys got to stick to it, because the first few times no one will show up. Like, let's be honest here, they don't know much about it, right? But if they just see you doing the same thing every single week at the same time, and you post about it every single week, like, people are gonna catch on. People are gonna be like, okay, it's that call again, it's that, maybe I should listen in. So now our people, when we post the banners or the flyers up that this is what they're going to be listening, if they're curious, I do get people messaging me for the link for it, right? So again, we've been doing these like opportunity calls for like the last 3 years already, right? And it's like the same time every single day, or every single week, same day. And now more of our girls are starting to like branch off and do their own calls with their own teams. And again, it's just duplicating and like doing the same thing, sharing the same story, sharing different stories, but kind of the same same opportunity, right? And the more that you guys do it, and the more people see it, and the more people catch on, they're going to understand that, okay, this is what we need to do, right? Again, it just started with, okay, let's just do this. And it just kept growing. So yeah, we do that every single week, and now we have multiple calls going every single week. So
And you know what, one of the things you said that stuck out to me, and Paul says it all the time, do these living room locals and have 8 thrivers and 2 guests. Like, you want the thrivers to outnumber.
yeah.
And I actually went and helped do a local with one of your teams this past weekend, and that's what they were doing. And I was talking to Carmen, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have to be consistent with these, but it's okay if only one guest shows, because now you tell everybody in the room, okay, everybody next week is responsible for one person, just one non-thriver. If you guys did that and did it twice a month, I mean, your team is going to grow, because when you get in a room with a bunch of people that are excited and thriving and sharing their stories, the 1 or 2 people not thriving are going to go, well, I want to feel like that. Like, it's so true. And I think it's like why your team is, you know what? You can't, I don't even know why your team is so good, but it's so good. You guys never slow down. Okay, we got like 4 minutes left. What I would love you to do is share anything you think that anybody on here that's valuable to their business, that you think that would help them or they need to know, and anything.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to these locals and stuff, you guys, for the first 9 months of my business, I was doing a lot of things by myself. I knew people were doing, vendors. I knew people were doing events. I knew people were doing these things with their team, but I didn't have much of a team yet. But that didn't let it stop me from, working on my business and stuff, right? So I think the reason why our team is so good with locals now is because that's what they think they need to do, because they were brought in that way. So if you bring someone, like a random guest to a local, and that's their first exposure to this business, and they decide to join the business, guess what? They're going to go and do their own locals like afterwards, because that's what they think they need to do, right? So if you're on here and you guys are brand new, you're like, I don't have a team yet, I'm by myself, like, let's start with you. But don't just give up after the first event that you guys do because no one shows up, right? Because that person that you invited that didn't show up, because they had a birthday to go to, invite them again 2 weeks later. What excuse are they going to use? Oh, I have a family dinner. Okay, let's invite them again the 3rd time. What excuse are they going to use? If you guys stay consistent with your business, doing the same simple things over and over again, people are going to run out of excuses. They're going to get curious. And also really, really do a really good job sharing it, right? I know a lot of people post these locals and stuff, and they just post like the speakers, but also don't forget to post the fun side. Show people like the behind the scenes. Show people like the you driving with your person and having fun in the car, like singing, blah blah, getting to that local and seeing people set up, and let them know that this is work. It's not that serious. It's pretty fun. And if you can stay consistently showing people that, people are going to catch on and be like, okay, maybe this isn't that bad. Like, I'm not going to go to a presentation and have to sit there and listen to these people try to sell me on stuff, right? So do a good job posting behind the scenes, before and after pictures, so people aren't so don't get so tense about like you inviting them or something, right? Because they know what to expect. Make it fun, make it exciting. And yeah, just stay consistent. It doesn't matter if 1 person or 2 people show up, because you never know. You're going to find that 1 person that was like me back in the days that really needed this opportunity, dead broke, couldn't even take care of her kids, was so unmotivated, unpassionate, was just literally trying to survive life. You're going to find someone like me, and they're going to come in and blow this business up because they know how much they needed this, right? How much this can change people's lives and stuff, right? So yeah, I think that's my biggest tip. Just like start with you, stay consistent. Don't get discouraged over things that that you guys can just, that it's just a shift in mindset kind of thing, right? If that makes sense. A lot of
It
things.
makes so much sense. And Tuyen, oh my God, like, if people didn't grab like a billion tips from this, is such gold. And the bottom line is that people just aren't doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they look in the mirror and they get honest with themselves, they're just not doing it. and you got to start. You have to start somewhere. If you have one person in your town that thrives with you, and if you don't have anybody, then find people. Let me tell you what, there are thrivers all over this country. So even if you don't have a team yet, I guarantee if you go to our team page and put, hey, who's in Toledo, Ohio, you're going to have other people. I'm in Toledo, Ohio. Okay, let's get together and do it. You don't even have to be on the same team, because I mean, we're all working towards the same goal, whether you're in the same downline or not.
Yeah.
So huge. I love you. You're awesome. And I want to debunk the myth now that you only let pretty people on your team, even though everyone is freaking gorgeous. Like, you guys go to a lifestyle getaway and you see Twins' whole team at the pool, and I don't even go out there because I would embarrass myself next to them in bathing suits. Like, you guys, you would win if there was awards in this company for, like, different little things. You would win the hottest team award for sure. Like, there's just no doubt in
They
my
are,
mind.
they are pretty hot.
And you guys are the funnest team ever. Like, you all are just hanging together. You're so tight knit. I mean, can you believe, Twin, the first local you went to, just you, and now when you go to a local, I mean, hundreds, you have won 200 people at locals now. I
Yeah.
mean, it's insane. It's so crazy. And we're just getting started. That's like the coolest part ever, is it's just really the beginning. I mean, you say you're almost 4 years in, and that's nothing on
Yeah.
the radar. How fast has this gone? It goes
So
so
fast.
fast. So
So
fast. Twin, you're the best. I love you. Thank you so much for hopping on today and sharing. And you guys, I hope you got a page full of notes and just start doing it. Success leaves clues. And man, did Twin drop a ton of clues on you guys today. So take them, work your business. We're coming out of summer pretty soon. It's going so fast, and we're going to pick up speed, and you got to be ready for it. So get ready, get some stuff planned. I encourage everybody on here to plan a living room local. I don't even care if it's you and a couple other thrivers practicing.
yeah.
Nobody on social media knows whether there's not a thriver there or not. No one.
Are you coming to the LA event end of July?
So I have something going on here, but I'm trying to switch it. So I think I might. I will get with you, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So LA, Drew, you guys, in July, where is that, Twin? Is that open to like whoever?
Yeah, it's open to whoever, but we literally think have 30 seats left. So if you guys,
Oh crap.
yeah,
Yeah, 30 seats left, y'all. So if you were anywhere near Los Angeles, yeah, you need to get a seat, because
it's
Drew's
gonna be
gonna be there,
training.
right?
So yeah, it's gonna be the first night on Friday. It's gonna be a meet and greet with Drew. He did one in Ottawa that one year, and it kind of just inspired everyone because the president's walking around hanging out with you, right? And then July 30th will be a 5-hour training event. Hopefully Lisa can come and be a panelist and share her tips for you guys. So if you guys are in the OC area or LA area, get your tickets. If you guys can attend, bring your teams. Again, it's going to
Yay.
be, yeah.
Oh my God, it'll be awesome. Everything you guys put on is awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Twin. Thanks to all of you guys for tuning in. Happy payday. Go make your payday post. Be grateful. And gosh, it's already July. Have an amazing, amazing week, you guys. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Same time, same place, same link. Bye, guys. Thanks, Twin.
Bye. Thank you.